Hey, it's Patrick, and today let's talk about Burly Suspension. Now, Burly's been around for a couple of decades, kind of in that garage builder, scrambler, cafe space, and one of the early products they launched with was a suspension product in the Burly Slammer. Now, what we're looking at here today is gonna fit all twin shock Harley-Davidson models. So baggers, dynos, sportsters, no softail fitment in there, but they have expanded fitment on some of these to fit some of the Rebel 1100 models. So that's pretty cool. Price range, $250 to $390, depending if you're just buying a set of slammers, if you're buying a kit with front end stuff, you're gonna have some variance in price there. And the product is what it says it is. It's going to slam the motorcycle. Now this is one of them that is available for the Honda Rebel 1100, and it comes in chrome and black. I would recommend checking your tire clearances in there when you put something like this on here. This is a 10.5-inch shock, so it's gonna be very, very low. Other than preload adjustability, not a lot of adjustability here to this. This is just made to get the rear end of that bike down into the weeds. Which brings me to our next product, which is the Slammer Plus. Now this is a pretty good innovation on the original product here. You can see this different colored spring down here at the bottom. That's a flat spring that actually allows this to have an 11.5-inch damper rod setup in it, meaning you're gonna get 2 full inches of travel out of this Slammer style shock. When you're sitting on the bike, you're still gonna have that really low ride height, but you're gonna have some suspension travel in there that your lower back will thank you for. You can get it either way. If you're blacking out your bike, you do have to deal with the red spring on there, which I think is pretty cool. Otherwise, you can get the chrome version. Like I said, a pretty cool innovation on that original Slammer setup. Now we go over here to the stilettos. The stilettos are taking this in the other direction, where we're slamming the bike down with the Slammer and the Slammer Plus. The stilettos, we're gonna raise it up. So if you're building like a club style bike, or you just wanna raise the bike up for better cornering and ground clearance, this is gonna be the direction you wanna go in. Again, you can see the 2 different colored springs on here. That's because they're dual rate springs. There's not a lot of adjustability in these shocks. You can do preload, but other than that, you can't do much. So this helps with the dual rate spring. Think of it as a fast and slow. One of them is gonna try to eat up the fast bumps, other one's gonna eat up the slow speed stuff. That is nice to have in there. This is another one that has the Rebel 1100 fitment, and it ranges in size anywhere from 12 inches all the way up to 15 inches. So in a Harley, like a Dyna, Sportster, even a bagger, 15 is really tall. So you're gonna get your toes off the ground. Also remember, when you're moving these bikes up and down, that's also gonna affect how it sits on the kickstand. So if you're going really low, it's gonna sit that bike more straight up and down. If you're going really high up in the air with the shock, that's gonna cause it to lean farther over onto the kickstand. But I like the fact they give you the option to go up or down. Honda Rebel 1100 fitment is cool to have also on the stilettos. Moving on to the front end stuff. Now, when you lower these bikes so much in the back, it actually is a pretty good idea to lower them in the front. Otherwise, you kind of get that stance where the back end's down, the front end's up, and it makes it handle kind of wonky in a corner. And they make these so you can lower it 1 or 2 inches in the front. They also have a stock ride height because these springs are better than stock. If you just wanna take your springs out and put these in, this is a progressive rate springs. They're gonna perform better than your stock springs. Also, you can buy this as the kit. So if you're planning on doing both, you wanna lower the front, you wanna lower the back, everything will come together that you need. As far as installation, these are, depending on which end of the bike we're talking about, one's gonna be more difficult than the other. Rear installation is pretty easy. Jack the bike up, 2 bolts on the other side, some torque specs, you're pretty much there. The front end, a little bit more difficult because you're gonna have to deal with some fluid, not necessarily seals. You can take all these out the top. Lucky for you guys, we have installation videos on all of this stuff. We have rear shock installations on Harley twin shock models, and we even have a full service for a 39mm front end, and so we have you covered. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit that info tab on your desktop or mobile device. That's gonna take you to the product detail page where you can read other riders' reviews and more specs about all of these shocks. If you still have more questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle budget and riding style. I'm Patrick, thank you for watching. Go work on those motorcycles.